All chronic illness is triggered by stress or trauma. And that is not saying that all chronic illness is psychological. And that is not saying that every time you are stressed, you are going to develop a chronic illness. A stressor is something that is damaging or harsh to the body that could potentially provide a survival threat. And so a stress response is a mobilization response. It's a call to action by the body. It's saying, hey, there could be a threat to our survival in the vicinity. We need to mobilize to deal with it. That's why we have a fight or flight response. That's why we have an immune system. That's why we have a detoxification system. Our bodies are built to manage stressors. The problem happens when our body is trying to mobilize to address the threat, and it just doesn't seem to be working. The threat is still there, and the body keeps mobilizing and mobilizing. The threat is still there, and pretty soon we are stuck in a loop of chronic stress or trauma PTSD and CPTSD. Now the body is in this long-term survival state, and it believes that the world is inherently dangerous because that's what it's been cued. And in this kind of state, the body puts aside all plans for long-term thriving. It is only focused on managing survival in the moment, and this is how chronic disease starts. Your body is trying to keep you alive in the face of what it sees as a persistent threat, and systemic inflammatory conditions are allowed to progress in this context. So yes, your CPTSD certainly could contribute to you developing MCAS. Usually there is not one stressor that is the cause, but the CPTSD will predispose you to being more vulnerable to other stressors because your body is focused on immediate survival and not healing, repairing, detoxifying in the face of other stressors you might encounter in your environment. So reprogramming the nervous system to start seeing the world as safe and to fully support your bodily systems so that it's not stuck in this chronic stress survival state, but actually is optimized to do the deeper healing it needs to do. That is the key to recovering from any chronic illness. I'm about to release a book called Rebuild Yourself, which details 6 support protocols to fully support your brain and body to do the healing work it naturally is meant to do. It releases on Monday, January 23rd.